Hello, this is my version of a feeder for wildlife, primarily for deer, but also for turkey. And apparently a lot of raccoons are climbing in there according to the trail camera, and sometimes you get pictures that looks like the deer got their ears laid back like they're fighting with them to get at the feed. Nonetheless, this is my Hillbilly feeder. Saw a lot of stuff on YouTube where people were constructing their redneck feeders, and those were mostly around PVC pipe type construction, and this works better for me because I can put 200 pounds of corn in this trough and only have to come down once a week or once every other week to check the status of it and pull the cart out of the trail camera and whatnot. So I picked up that trough. It's a standard cattle or horse feeding trough. I saw it on Craigslist. I got actually two of them for 50 bucks, 25 bucks a piece. They cost about 100, 110 new at a farm and home type store. So I have it kind of jammed in between two trees. Coincidentally, that was just happenstance. It wasn't a plan, but it worked out that way. And then I have a 4x8, normal sheet of plywood over the top that serves as a roof to keep the pounding rain from it. Obviously, rain coming from the side, still going to get in there. Got lots of holes drilled in the bottom of the trough so that the water does leak out. But the roof does a good job of keeping most of the rain out. On either end, I have some scrap 2x4s. One across the top there, you can see, and then down here at the other end, it's on the underneath side of the plywood, and you can see the edge of it right there, I guess. And then there's a 2x4 down the center of the plywood sheet. See if I can get a picture of that without going too crazy here. You can see that goes down there, and its purpose, and the same thing with that one on the end, the one on this end, is just to keep the plywood sheet from warping too much. And then obviously I put the eye bolts in down on this end. There's one on each corner, one in the center. What I did was had the whole contraption kind of sitting on the ground, or actually in that trough. Then I tied up this end about 5 foot off the ground. You can see the rope up there around the tree. I actually put a screw in the tree to hold the rope in place, and then got it to the height I wanted with that centerpiece. Then I came down to this end, and I had that 2x6 already in place underneath down there, and I tried using screws at first. It was just they just stripped them out. I guess the oak's too hard for it to drill into without a pilot hole, and I'm sure we're going to do that. So I just used a hammer and nails to get that thing against the tree in the position I wanted. I'd say this end down here is about 5.5 foot off the ground. There's no magic or science to this, I don't think. It doesn't matter how high you got it, you're just trying to keep the rain out. And then I have ropes going off on angles on each corner, and the purpose of all that obviously is just to keep the wind from blowing this thing away or shaking it so much. And then right now I have 50 pounds of corn, about 30 pounds of something called All Stock. It's a pelletized product. It contains a lot of protein. It's also got some barley and oats in it, and it's used to feed cattle, horses, pigs, whatever. Supposedly really sweet tasting too, and that'll bring them in also. So let's see, then I have my field camera over there. It's an old Wild Game Innovation, still gets the job done. Eats up batteries, but gets the job done. That's all there is to it. I don't, outside of 25 bucks for the trough, I didn't spend a lot of money. Most of it was on the plywood, the eye bolts, and like I said, the wood was all scrap. And I was going to say down at the end, with the trough being 10 foot long and the sheet of plywood only being 8 foot long, you got a little bit of overlap down here. So I just don't put a lot of feed down on the end. I just throw some down here in case there's any bashful animals that don't want to come in under that roof. They can get their fill down here, especially if it's a buck with a giant rack, right? All right, that's all. Thanks, folks.